It was a cold January morning on the island of Sodor. The Scottish engines, Donald, Douglas and Duncan were working in the yards near Crowham's Gate. It's chillier than the Scottish Highlands today. Well, the hard work here today should keep us warm. And Douglas marshalled some trucks around the yard. Come on, lads, let's get the work finished before Burns night. Burns Night is a Scottish occasion which celebrates the life of the poet Robert Burns. The Scottish engines hadn't heard his name for a long time, and they were beginning to feel homesick. Later that day, they were telling the others about Scotland. When Percy brought empty trucks in the yard, Douglas told him about the hills and glens he used to run through. When Henry brought some flatbeds to take to the scrapyard, Duncan told him about bagpipe music. And when Peter's Sam came to help, Donald told him about the Loch Ness Monster. She lives under the water and pops her head out every now and again.
Oh dear. I hope I never meet the Loch Ness Monster. Is it as big as Gordon?
No, of course not. Donald's right there. The Loch Ness Monster is about as big as 100 Gordons.
Oh no.
And Peter Sam quickly went to hide in the shed. Do you think we may have gone a bit too far? Nah, Peter Sam is more sensible than to believe the story. But Duncan was wrong. That evening, the Fat Controller came to see Peter Sam. He had an important job for him.
I want you to go to the lakeside station to collect something special. It'll be freezing fog tonight, so you'll need a lamp.
After hearing about the Loch Ness Monster, Peter Sam wasn't sure that he wanted to leave the shed. But he didn't want to let the Fat Controller down.
Yes, sir.
And he puffed off into the cold night. The men at the lakeside station loaded his train, and Peter Sam set off back to the junction. The fog was thick, and he could barely see ahead of him.
Steady we go, 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 steady we go.
Soon, they reached the castle causeway. But Peter Sam stopped. "You're low on steam. We'll have to stop for a minute." Peter Sam was terrified. The lake was very dark. He began to remember what Duncan and the twins had said about the Loch Ness Monster.
But what if there is a monster here too?
He tried to pretend he was safe in the shed, but suddenly an eerie noise made Peter Sam jump.
It's the Loch Ness Monster! Get me out of here, please!
Peter Sam raced away as fast as his wheels could carry him. As he puffed along, he heard 3 loud splashes in the water.
Oh my!
Donald, Duncan and Douglas were waiting in the yard when Peter Sam came rushing in. Lush sakes, Peter Sam, what's happened to you? Aye, you look like you've had your buffers napped by a ghost.
I saw it! I saw it!
So what?
The monster! It made this strange sound and it was awfully scary.
All of a sudden, Peter Sam heard the noise again. Coming closer and closer. Donald, Douglas and Duncan laughed and laughed. They knew exactly what it was. A man stopped beside Peter Sam, carrying a set of bagpipes.
Sorry, I didn't mean to alarm you. We're just tuning up there.
Your train's full of stuff there for the Burns night supper at the town hall. Peter Sam was surprised to see a few people in Scottish traditional dress walking up and down the platform. The workman lifted small crates full of round objects out of his trucks and took it over to the town hall. That's the haggis. When you rushed away, Peter Sam, your trucks hit a rough rail joint and they bounced into the lake. That's what made the splash. Peter Sam was very glad to know that there was no monster in the lake after all. At last Burns night came, and the engines had some special visitors. The Scottish pipers and dancers brought some delicious food from the Burns night supper, and the pipers played a special tune particularly for the Scottish engines. Engines loved it, and Donald whispered quietly to Douglas, "Ah, it's no quite home." "Ha ha, you said it, but it's lovely all the same."